So, yes, 3 down in here, cut the flanges off the bottom of the central one, drop it in, flip it over, weld it up, weld 2 seams down the side here, cut a horn out of the middle piece, and we'll see how we go. Okay, try again later. Okay, so bit of progress. I have cut this one into a length that I can then cut in half to get my 2 lengths. That will then come off and join onto here, butt up against there, and then this rough looking thing here will have the 20mm leg sticking down, cut off here and here all the way down. That piece will jut down into the gap that's created between the 2 main pieces. I've done a bit of work on the back of this one, got impatient and wanted to see what sort of scalloping job I could do. Cut that out with the oxy and then cleaned it up with the grinder. So that will go in there. So the gap there is about 18mm, so I'll give it about 20. I'll effectively cut down there, cut down there, cut these off all together, so flip this over, cut them straight off, and then this should drop down into that gap. Okay, we've got him marked out, got him clamped up, so I'm going to cut down here, that's where the foot will stop, and the horn will be made out of the other side of the running rail. Make some sparks and a hell of a lot of noise. I reckon you've probably had enough of watching me grind. Okay, so I've got it cut off. I was grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding for what seemed like days, and I got sick of it. So yeah, I cut in here and then along this little edge to get a line. Used a burn bar straight edge to lay along here, and then oxyed it off. Looks like a dinosaur's chewed it off. And then I also flipped off the end of that last one there. She's cut off. Just got to grind it down so it slots down in between the other 2 now. This mark there is where I come off here, and I'm going to come out this way and make my horn out here. I'm not sure exactly how much of a flat section I'm going to have. I've got a big flat section for the anvil itself, you know, plenty big enough. It's going to be 180 wide and about 400 long. Next step is to grind all that down so that it's like that and fits in. Slot it down in. I can give you a basic idea of what this is going to look like. That's number 1. That's number 2. Now it's not going to fit in properly because I haven't ground all that rubbish off yet. But effectively it's going to, that's not closing up because of all the rubbish hanging off it, but once I grind them down right, those 2 will pull in, make a solid face there, and then I'll have my horn out here. Gonna weld this up obviously once it's pulled in, grind that flat. So yeah, that's how she's gonna look. Two of those, that one in the middle, horn out there, bingo, Bob's your uncle. Okay, time for me to knock off for the night. Okay, welcome back to my Anvil creation. Just taking the oxy and cut that out of there. So not a bad cut. Got a bit shabby coming through here, but she's 65mm thick there, so it's to be expected. Now I'm just cleaning up my curve here, figuring out how I'm going to shape up the horn. This is side one, it's been shaped. Hasn't been shaped on that side, it's just an end. Side two, haven't cut that out yet. I'm going to do that and that at the same time. Get a good shape on there. Effectively, that's going to go there. That's going to go in between there and there. That's going to go there. That's going to give me a pretty good width. It's about 180mm there. Now I've got to decide on how I shape that, where I bring it to. Pretty much going to have to pick a point there and there, take him off there, take that one off to the same point. Okay, I've cleaned her up a little bit, the bit that I need to clean up prior to cutting. So I'm going to leave myself a bit of solid edge material here that I can work with later, and I'm going to cut my horn off through there. I think that might leave me enough, but we'll find out. Doing it before I weld her all together, because if I balls it up I can then just get rid of this piece, use it as a side piece for another anvil when I make, because I'm going to make more than one. So yeah, I'm going to cut that off. If I put a guide along there, clamp that down, then I can use that to run my cut along there, get a nice straight cut. That's my plan. I'll get him all set up on the edge of the table here where I can cut freely, and I'll be back to record some more after I've done it. Righto, I thought I'd have a go at trying to record a bit of torch cutting. Too bad, I suppose. Okay, I'm back again. getting this thing horned. So, oh, let's come around here. That's what I got at the moment. So she's pretty long, she's pretty sharp, but I wanted to give myself some room to be able to stuff up and correct it. And get that. That looks longer than what it really is, I think. Let's have a look here. If I get the full length of it at the moment, she's pretty much 220 mil. Might not be that sharp. Depends how good a job I can do of finishing off the horn itself. If I block that light, you'll see a bit better that I'm thinking about welding some plate or something thickness into here, and the same on the other side, so I can end up with that being rounded. Weld a bit of bar in there and then fill it up with weld all the way around, grind it back. I intend on cutting out a plate that goes in there and there, so weld a couple of plates in there, and the same on this side. Weld a plate into there and there, but of course once I've taken out the curve, of course I'm going to weld a plate onto the top of here, striker plate. I've also got to cut a Pritchell hole in here and a Hardy hole in here, or maybe about there. Okay, well, that's the latest update, and I'll catch you on the flip side.